Henry returns to Hong Kong after years of serving in the US military. He wants to become a teacher, so he visits his old school, Tak Chi Secondary. The principal points out that Henry has no teaching experience. But after seeing a recommendation letter from a top official, he agrees to hire him. Before Henry leaves, the principal warns him. He'll be teaching the worst class in the school. On his first day, Henry walks into complete chaos. Some students are sleeping, others are singing, playing video games, or even cooking ramen on a portable stove. No one cares that a teacher has entered. Henry tries to get their attention, but they ignore him. Instead of yelling, Henry goes around the room commenting on what they're doing, telling the ramen cooks to eat less sodium, helping a student named Zufa tune his ukulele, and warning a gamer about screen radiation. Eventually, the students start to listen. Henry writes his name and phone number on the board, but the kids laugh at his messy handwriting. Someone even prank calls him, but Henry laughs it off. When they go back to ignoring him, Henry takes a rubber band and chalk to set off the fire sprinklers. Water rains down and the students finally pay attention. Henry officially welcomes them to his class. Later, a group of 5 troublemakers meet up in the sports supply room to smoke. Their leader Jack has a crush on a smart girl from another class. The others catch Jack staring at a girl's picture and tease him. Jack and his friends often clash with the rich, arrogant kids from the school's basketball team. One day, the basketball players enter the supply room and mock Jack for being poor. Later, while Jack and his friends are watching the team practice, Jack accidentally drops a bottle on the court, making the team leader fall. They all laugh but end up getting detention from Miss Liang, their English teacher. Instead of serving detention, they prank her and run off while she's cleaning her desk. Meanwhile, the school principal is worried because the education board plans to cut 20% of their funding. Board members come to inspect the school. At the same time, Henry, a teacher, walks into a classroom where the students have set up a prank with a bucket of water. But Henry dodges it easily, leaving everyone surprised. Henry then asks Jack for his pack of cigarettes. Curious, Jack hands it over. Henry quizzes Zufa about the ingredients in cigarettes, and when Zufa answers correctly, Henry lets him skip class for the day. The other students demand the same. Instead of just lecturing them about smoking, Henry hands out cigarettes and asks them to study them. He explains how tar builds up in their lungs, making them finally listen and show real interest. After class, they reluctantly return the cigarettes. Later in the cafeteria, the basketball team captain trips Jack's friend Bruce. A fight breaks out between the two groups, with food and tables flying everywhere. Henry later finds out 5 of his students have been suspended for the fight. He also catches Jack fighting someone in the hallway and steps in to stop it. When Jack is told to calm down, he gets angry and says the school is unfair. Rich kids never get punished. After school, Henry decides to dig into the files of the 5 students to learn more about them. The first student is Zufa, the son of a Pakistani immigrant. He's often treated unfairly by the police, who think he's a thief just because of his race. Zufa dreams of becoming a musician. The second student is Dinan. Her father always wanted a son, so he's been disappointed in her since she was born. Dinan even cut her hair short and played with cars to impress him, but he still treats her younger brother like royalty and ignores her. Next are the brothers Bruce and Chris. Their mom ran away when they were little, leaving them with a father who turned into an alcoholic. Bruce hides in video games, while Chris works at a grocery store to support them. As for Jack, Henry can't find any family information about him. Later, Jack is working as a waiter at a restaurant. An MMA gambler named Jianying comes in with his friends. Jack tries to steal Jianying's fancy lighter but gets caught. Jianying's men rough him up, but after seeing Jack's student ID, Jianying gives him some money and offers him a job delivering food. Meanwhile, Henry visits Zufa's home and sees him running from his angry father. Henry first tries to help, but when he finds out Zufa had stolen a ticket, he sides with the father. Later, Henry and Zufa hang out at a bridge. To lift Zufa's spirits, Henry sings with a street band. Zufa, who was once bullied for singing, finally joins in and performs confidently in public. Back at home, Bruce and Chris's father comes back drunk and demands beer. When the brothers refuse, he kicks them out. The next day, Henry talks to their dad and convinces him to go to rehab. Meanwhile, Dinan's father hands her a bag of makeup and tells her to finally act like a girl. Dinan is furious at him for always making her feel like she's not good enough. She applies the makeup on her younger brother and sneaks out of the house with the car key. She is about to drive away in her father's car but is stopped by Henry at the right moment. He tells her that driving without a license is illegal and suggests an alternative. Following that, they go to a go-kart racetrack. Henry also invites her father and makes them race. The father and daughter show no mercy to each other during the race and eventually end up outside the track. Suddenly, Dinan's go-kart is hit by a vehicle, but she manages to dodge it. Unaware of this, her father cries mourning his daughter's death. Dinan realizes that he does in fact love her and hugs him. The next day at school, Bruce and Chris, along with a group, are sent to a rehabilitation center to interview a recovering alcoholic. They are surprised to see that the person they have to interview is their father. The students ask him how he started to drink. The man answers that he loved his wife dearly but she left him at the lowest point of his life. Hence, he started to drink and forgot that he had 2 kids to take care. The man doesn't reveal that Bruce and Chris are his sons but apologizes to them. By the end of it, the brothers are left crying. Somewhere else, Jack has started to work for the MMA better Jianying. He offers Jack a lot of money to drug a fighter's drink in the next game. Jack is reluctant but is forced into accepting the offer. On the day of the fight, Jianying sponsors a fighter but bets money on his loss. Jack puts drugs on the fighter's drink but is caught while doing so. Before he can blame Jianying, he is beaten up and locked inside a locker. A while later, Henry arrives there and asks the fighters if they have seen his student. The men ask him to return home, but Jack, from inside the locker, yells for help. After finding out he is being trapped, Henry attacks them and overpowers them easily. When the fighters step it gets a bit intense, but Henry dodges their attack sufficiently. By the end of it, he knocks out their best fighter who was supposed to compete in a few minutes. In the following scene, they are at the hospital where Henry gets treated for his wounds. Jack tries to reveal the truth about Jianying but is made to shut up. The news makes it to the television and Henry starts being known as the man who beat up a professional fighter to save his student. His popularity in school grows and the students start to respect him. They even get up to welcome him to the class, in contrast to how they were earlier. A flashback shows us that Henry used to be a prankster when he was in school. He even threw water balloons at a student who was playing piano for the parents in an event. Later he fought the same student and broke his hand. He was suspended for the fight, after which he had to fly to the States. Starting that day, the students pay attention when Henry teaches in class and study hard for the upcoming college entrance test. Everyone is doing great except Bruce, who has grown addicted to pills. It turns out that while Chris turned to video games to avoid his family's problem, Bruce started doing drugs. Because he is unfocused, he does very badly in the mock entrance test. Henry promises to help him, but Bruce grows more depressed with time. Eventually, he jumps off the balcony of their house. He is rushed to the hospital and goes into a coma. The media twists the news and blames it on the school and Henry for what Bruce did. The officials from the education board interview Henry and decide to revoke his teaching license. When he packs his things and leaves the school, the students chase him behind, asking him to stay. They are heartbroken by his absence, but they know that they should ace their upcoming test to make him proud. From that day, they study twice as hard to prove to the board that Henry is a good teacher. On the day of the test, Jack, along with all his classmates, get a text from Henry asking them to meet in the school an hour before the exam. When the students gather, they find out that it was Jianying's trick to keep them confined in the school so they won't make it to the examination hall in time. He is doing this to teach Henry a lesson. A while later, Henry arrives at school and finds out about Jianying's plan. He lets the students free and fights all of Jianying's people to stop them from harming the children. They escape and quickly make their way to the examination hall while Henry fights Jianying. While they are fighting one-on-one, Jianying reveals that he was the guy who Henry had thrown water balloons at when he was little. It turns out that since Henry broke his arm, he wasn't able to compete in a big music competition. Ever since the incident, he hasn't touched a piano and blames Henry for ruining his dream. Henry tries to reason with him but is attacked yet again. They struggle to get a hold of a knife. At last, Henry gets a chase to kill him but doesn't do it. He asks for forgiveness for what he did when he was little and walks away. The students reach the examination hall at the right time and complete the test. Cut to a few weeks later, they all pass with flying colors. Jianying starts to play the piano again but has a lot to practice before he gets as good as he used to be. Bruce recovers quickly and promises to attend the next year's entrance test. The principal is also delighted because the board decides to give them a 20% bonus fund because their students did very well in the entrance test. Henry returns to teaching and does the fire sprinkle trick on another batch of students. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on the notification and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.